What is up? What's going on, everybody? We are happy to have you here. JB Wynn Dogon as S once again jumping off for another edition of Conscious Approach on YouTube. Thanks to everybody for joining along with us. Major shouts out to the community. Major shouts out to us who continue to be hungry enough to keep this thing going and deliver this content. We love to see it. Major shouts out to the Philadelphia 76ers who jumped in front of that bullet.
The universe balancing itself out.
That's right, man. Major shouts out to the Philadelphia 76ers for jumping in front of us to catch a bullet for us, man. Really appreciate that. We down here in Miami Heat Nation did not want to re-enter into that circus. So thank you, Philadelphia 76ers, for electing to jump into the circus yourself. We couldn't be more appreciative of that. Other than that, as always, man, check us out on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Download the podcast. Follow the channel on TikTok and Instagram at Con Approach, CONAPPROACH. Just trying to be available in any and all places possible. We most certainly appreciate your patronage for the channel. We do it for the love, man. So anytime that you leave those comments, anytime that you like any piece of content that we do, anytime that you elect to subscribe to the channel, we don't take it for granted because we understand that it is indicative of the fact that you find some kind of value in it, whether you agree or disagree. So that is the highest form of internet flattery. We don't take it for granted. And with that out of the way, we'll go ahead and get things kicked off. We will discuss an individual who I would say at this point has become friend of the channel. Nicki Minaj is friend of the channel. Nicki Minaj is currently trending because at the White House Correspondence Dinner Part 2, because y'all know Part 1 didn't happen because allegedly someone attempted to unalive Orange Man. They had to postpone it to do it again. And at the the second attempt, Donald Trump was on stage giving some remarks, and he made comments about the incident at the first attempt at the dinner. He was talking about how, you know, when everybody was told in the building to get down, Nicki Minaj started twerking. And so he made a joke about Nicki Minaj understanding the assignment and twerking when everybody was told to get down. That comment, of course, is trending for obvious reasons. And Nicki Minaj herself actually implicitly responded to this in her own Nicki Minaj tongue-in-cheek way, as you can imagine. So we'll go ahead and just dive right into this and talk about our reaction to this particular situation. Now, you'll have to, of course, bear in mind because Hot New Hip Hop has become a toxic hub for ad-induced web pages. It is a shame what has happened to this website. It is a shell of its former self, much like WorldStar. But we got this up. So this says Nicki Minaj reacts to Donald Trump's twerking joke at White House dinner. A United States president making twerking jokes about a shooting that threatened his life is not something folks ever expected to see, but such is the boldness of Donald Trump, who made a joke about Nicki Minaj at the White House Correspondence Dinner earlier this week. For those unaware, this first-time appearance by him at a White House Correspondence Dinner was the second attempt at this event, as the first try a few months ago was interrupted by a shooting suspected to have been an assassination attempt. Nicki was supposed to attend that dinner, but she didn't make it. Nevertheless, the sitting U.S. president joked about her hypothetical reaction to the ruckus. So I'll go ahead and play the video. No need for me to read the quote. Nicki responded to this on Twitter. She posted a photo of a pink-haired Chucky doll with a bit of a menacing facial expression. I'll be looking at the president next time I see him. The Trinidadian superstar did not attend this second attempt at the White House Correspondence Dinner either. Many wonder if Trump has bad memory or if he knows she never made it to either party. All right, so let me scroll through this because it does include Trump's cringe joke. So here's the post that Nicki posted. That's the aforementioned pink-haired Chucky. And then this is some more stuff between her and him. And here's the joke that he made. Here's the joke in question.
But after hearing the gunshots, many people yelled, get down, which caused Nicki Minaj to start twerking. You believe it? Get down. He's the only one that really understood what that meant.
Yeah, there's the one colored gentleman who's in that clip who's not laughing. He didn't look as though he found that particularly humorous. And then here's a follow-up reaction to Nicki Minaj, who doesn't say anything. She just, I guess, flexes.
The silent flex.
Right. Yeah. I guess she's like, I don't have to say anything. I'm a baddie. I don't know.
Got it.
Donald Trump's past comments about Nicki Minaj have been a little more flirty, as he called her hot when she attended a Rose Garden Club lunch. She seems to have taken them all in stride, returning the favor by praising Trump at most turns. Obviously, this dynamic resulted in a lot of backlash against Nicki Minaj for her endorsement of Trump's controversial policies, ideologies, and bigotries. Much of this is from former fans, but she also continues to catch flack from big-name politicians and commentators as well. Throughout it all, Nicki is happy to clap back at the hate and double down on her views. Some still accuse her of seeking favors, but Trump's recent twerking joke suggests she has no problem at all with forming part of his inner circle and being a name he consistently brings up. So she basically is like responding by not responding, essentially. But a lot of folks on the internet are opining on the nature of their relationship and, his comments therein with this twerking joke and whatnot. So what do you make of this particular cultural incident?
This zeitgeist that we're experiencing. Hey man, listen. It was a good joke. He could have timed it up better. It had the potential to land a lot cleaner. But I gotta say, I find it as a good joke. I guess the big uproar about this is, I don't know, I'm assuming the racial undertones with this, and also the fact that Nicki Minaj is even somewhat affiliated with Orange Man. But I gotta tell you, man, when it comes to Nicki and her affiliation with the Red, and my pushback, because look, honestly, I'm gonna sit here and come to the defense, surprise, of Nicki Minaj. And my pushback to those people out there that's upset that she is aligning herself with Orange, my rebuttal will be, well, are you gonna pay her bills? Are you going to pay her bills? Are you going to buy albums? Our boy Rick Ross, Face Planet, with his latest attempt of trying to release music. That album, Set in Stone, I want to say, is now double plastic, double microplastics. It's not like, I forgot what the sale was, but it is just atrocious. Now, of course, we're in a different economy when it comes to album sales and streaming and all that stuff.
No, it's bad even by current standards.
It's bad even by current standards. I mean, that's box rapper numbers. Not, Ricky Rose, the guy that has his own private jet. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? So this is what we're seeing from the people from that era. Okay, so if you're out here releasing music, are you going to support it? Chances are you're not. And of course now you're not because she's affiliated with Orange. But even if she wasn't, and she was just standard Nicki Minaj coming out with more and more box rap, were you going to support it in enough numbers that would pay her bills? I would say probably not. So then she would have to do these side endeavors, probably a reality show or this or that. So what she's doing now is, to use a corporate term, she's leveraging, all right, her name, image, and likeness. And right now, for whatever it is, okay, this is a check for her. Just the affiliation, just for any of this stuff. Now, I'm not looking at her books or nothing like that, but I can pretty much guarantee you, all right, she didn't make this off of political stance. Nicki Minaj is not, I wouldn't say that she's a political intellect. She's not out here looking at geopolitics, what I'm saying, and fiscal numbers. She's out here just popping box on stage, getting BBLs, getting liposuction, getting facial reconstructions, you name it. And so for that cause and that cause alone, she needs to keep up that lifestyle. All right. She can't pull up in a Wraith. She can't pull up in a Rolls Royce selling, 15,000 units the first week. It's embarrassing. You can't pay these bills. So she's doing what she needs to do, as people in that industry do. And so right now I look at it as a check. And of course, whenever you come groveling for another bowl of porridge, the person who's issuing the porridge can make jokes because you're just a poor beggar. So here he comes making a joke about her popping ass, but guess what? That's all she does anyway. So if that joke was made at the BET Awards, everybody would be laughing. But Orange Man made it, so it's bad. Come on, man. It was a good joke. I really think he should have lined that up better. Personally. So I'm gonna come to the defense of Nicki, because all of these people out here that seem to be mad at her, were you going to support her enough for her to sustain whatever lifestyle she feels like she needs to live? She did the cost benefit analysis and said, y'all not. So she decided to take a career move elsewhere. Where would this lead with her? Who knows? But what are your thoughts, man, on Nicki Minaj getting the short end of the stick of an Orange Man joke, saying that as soon as the gunshots start going off, she started clapping? What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, he clearly didn't work with a stand-up comic who coached him on how to land the joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably his greatest crime, is his delivery was off.
Yes.
During medieval times and during feudal times, back during the Dark Ages and the Middle Ages and all of this kind of stuff, court jesters were a part of the royal court, and people recognized them as such. But despite them being a part of the royal court, they were nevertheless recognized for what they were, which was flamboyant entertainment. Like the general townsfolk looked upon the court jester as the joke of the royal court. They were there to provide entertainment to the masses, oftentimes in self-deprecating fashions, oftentimes in embarrassing fashions, right? And they held court, and people recognized them for the lofty position that they held, juxtaposed to the rest of the common folk. But the common folk understood that despite that rather lofty position, in comparison to everybody else within court, they were a joke. They were the butt of every joke, and they were merely trotted out to be entertainment for the masses, as well as entertainment for the people who were also holding court. Mm-hmm. And so, even though these individuals held court, they weren't really looked upon as experts in anything necessarily. It's not like when the kingdom went to war, people were looking at the court jester for advice or for strategy or for sage wisdom on how to best live during these tumultuous times. People understood that it is during tumultuous times that the court jester is relied upon to provide relief from the chaos that is happening around them, from the very real possibility that they can be overtaken, conquered by whoever it was that they were in conflict with. And sometimes you need your mind taken off that. And even during those difficult times, you need people who are in positions such as the court jester to alleviate the stress and keep the townsfolk at ease.
Mm-hmm.
Nicki Minaj is a modern day court jester. The only difference between Nicki Minaj and court jesters from the dark ages is people have lost sight of the ability to recognize a court jester when they see one. She is an artist and an entertainer, a box rapper. She's a part of the entertainment industry. And so, because we hero worship these individuals to such a criminal degree nowadays, we have assigned them a certain level of agency that they otherwise didn't earn. And I would say 300, 400, 500 years ago, the townsfolk would never have looked upon the court jester to be someone who's a voice of authority or wisdom, because they knew the position that they maintained and relegated them to that, understandably. Nowadays, they're trotting these rappers out at these correspondence dinners. They're trotting these individuals out at the DNCs and the RNCs. They're bringing them out on these rallies because they want them to show that these candidates can be relied upon by the individuals to whom these celebrity people represent. And so in exchange for that, from a political standpoint, they're given some sort of agency to be recognized as authority figures somehow, or at the very least, individuals to whom you should listen. And 500 years ago, no one would dare listen to a court jester during wartime. Hey, if you're not entertaining me in your self-deprecating various fashions, I don't have any reason to pay attention to you. But now we're paying attention to these individuals, and we're actually giving credence to some of the opinions that they have. So I hear everything that you're saying when it comes to her. I agree with most of what you're saying. And I would merely add on to that the fact that people need to remember what a court jester looks like. Just because these individuals make a lot of money, and just because you idolize their lifestyle, some of which is a fabrication, because most of these individuals don't actually live the lifestyle that they're selling you on, they are nevertheless modern day court jesters. Just because they show up on stage at the DNC in Atlanta telling you to vote for this particular candidate doesn't mean that they have the inherent expertise, wisdom, or knowledge for you to actually be listening to them. And Nicki Minaj, in my opinion, is one of those modern day court jesters, as most of these individuals who get trotted out within these particular contexts are. They are a strategic political ploy and nothing more.
Is it me? It might be. We're gonna have to wait for it to drop. It might end up dropping. Well, if it does drop, see, I don't know no Nicki bars. I don't know any Nicki bars, because I was just gonna sit here and recite some of the court gesture lyrics. I don't think I know any Nicki rhymes. But yeah, so JV wins will return, man. Sometimes y'all know how I go. The internet access. I was in the middle of a Zoom call at work. You know, my Wi-Fi is stable enough, I guess. You know, I don't see any drops. I'm sitting here, I'm making a presentation. All right, I'm making a presentation. It decides to drop. And my presentation freeze during my presentation. Are you kidding me? Mind you, I'm the only Negro on staff. And it's like, of course, Negro man is paying for the cheap internet. No, I'm not. I'm not. You want to see my bill? So it's crazy, man. Whenever you just want to present, you just want to be a regular person, man, just doing your thing, podcasting on the webs, and here it go. Want to freeze, buffer, hell, even drop the damn call. But one thing about it, man, JV wins. Even though he's hosting and he dropped, your boy can still filibuster, man. He can still gerrymander with the best of them. So, yeah, man, I'll just go ahead and pick up on my point because, I agree with the whole court gesture thing. I wouldn't go there, but yeah, it's the same thing. And I'll also say that it's like the minstrel show thing because JV Wins always talks about the minstrel show. And yeah, Nicki's just, step and fetch it. You know what I'm saying? Just on stage, soft shoes. You know what I'm saying? White gloves. That's her job. That's what box rap is. That's what gangster rap is. That's what trap rap is. So what it is just modern minstrel behaviors. So Nicki, honestly, being the catalyst for modern box rap. We can thank the likes of the Leprechaun, Little Kim, Foxy Brown. I'm not going to make any jokes about her. We all know what she's going through. But nevertheless, they were the ones in the late 90s, early 2000s that really shifted female rap into exclusively talking about their juicy peaches, as Holly Berry would say. And guys, if you guys didn't watch last week's show about Holly Berry, I think you guys should watch that, man. I got a good chuckle out of that. But yeah, so Nicki's just, being the at the forefront of modern female rap, whether I like it or not. The streets crowned her that. And so now she's just walking around with that persona, transitioning away from music, because she got a lot of stuff going on in her personal life that everybody know about. The music ain't really hitting no more. And as I already mentioned in my first point, Rick Ross and all of these other rappers, unless you're Drake or Kendrick, and you're a rapper, you better not be basing your stuff off numbers, man. I'm telling you right now. And if you're a rapper in the game, you better not mock anybody about their low numbers because yours is coming up soon, And so Rick Ross had his moments where he was being too boisterous, saying too much, and he turned himself into an internet meme. So people don't take him serious anymore. Everybody knows he was a CEO. Everybody knows he's a jokester. Everybody knows he was getting baby oiled up with the diddler. So he's not valid no more. Oh hey man. So I'm just gerrymandering over here, man. So
yeah. I'm at the mercy of Wi-Fi. What are you gonna do, man? Technology will betray you, and it often does betray you. But I was pretty much done with my salvo there. It's people would do it. People owe it to themselves to do a better job of recognizing a court jester when it exists, and I would say she is one of those.
Yeah, and I was stepping in because I hear you with court jester. I personally didn't think of that, but then I was like, hey, JV Wins always talks about the minstrel shows. And so, Nicki's just modern day minstrel. I also mentioned trap rap, box rap, gangster rap. So all of these people are tools of manipulation. I would say that. And they all perform the same kinds of hypnosis on its listeners. So, but as being part of the minstrel show, as part of being on that stage performance, once they get their check, once the whoever owns the stage, whoever sells the tickets, those people who put that person on that stage, they'll treat them anyway. They'll treat them any kind of way, heavy-handed. They don't respect those people because those people literally took a check to disrespect their own people and put invasive, crazy thoughts in their brain. So the person who's given that check doesn't respect them. So somebody that's sitting there saying that, oh yeah, Trump's this, Trump. Yeah, we all know Trump's game at this point. And so him leaning into that by making, what some people may say racially insensitive, blah, 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 it's all part of it. And no, he don't respect me at all. So for anybody, my thing is, if this stuff don't surprise you no more, because it shouldn't, what Nicki's doing, what Orange Man is doing, like none of this stuff should surprise anybody. So since it's not surprising, it shouldn't surprise you. Why get upset about it? So when I see these things, unfold, I get a laugh out of it. So when Trump is making a joke like that should offend or should X, Y, or Z, I look at it as, oh, that's funny. That's funny to me. So to me, that's no different than watching an episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I remove myself from all of this garbage, because the world's a stage at this point. And Trump is nothing but an actor himself. So why get mad at the script? Now, if you want to get mad at the script writers. Now, who are the writers? I don't know. All right. Because we don't vote for those people and they don't show up on TV screens. But if you want to, but you get mad at the actors, that's a waste of your time. So, yeah, so this situation to me is water under my bridge. All right. Water off my back. And yeah, man, I want to see what Nicki has to do next, man. Will she double down? Will she eventually show up at a Klans rally? Who knows? Who knows, man? If the check's big enough, she just might. So don't get offended, guys. All of these people will eventually sell themselves out for a check, because they already did sell themselves out, and they sold you out for a check. So, getting mad at them down the line is, to me, a waste of time. So, hey, man, best of luck to them all, I say.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, the root of anytime people become upset about something, at the root of it, what you'll find is that there was a violation of expectations that took place. Mm-hmm. So if you are upset at the fact that individuals like Nicki Minaj align themselves politically in the fashion that they do, to me, it is indicative of the fact that your expectations of what these people were supposed to do have been violated. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I would suggest that you need to reevaluate what your expectations are. Mm-hmm. And you need to stop assuming that their behavior should be consistent with your expectations. And you just need to put them in the box where they're supposed to reside in. Court jesters do what they do. Their job is to entertain the masses. It's not to be political scientists. It's not to engage in geopolitics. And you shouldn't listen to them if they try to pull a wool over your head by trying to convince you that that is a bucket in which they reside. It's not. They're just entertainers. They are modern day court jesters, and you have to account for that, and you have to treat them accordingly. Don't allow your expectations to be violated, because at that point, I would say that you were maintaining unrealistic expectations. Treat them as they should be treated. Stop holding them to some esteem that you think that they should be held to. Because they are some sort of cultural moniker. I would suggest that at that point, we need to reevaluate how we look at cultural monikers, but that's an age-old conversation, of course. I think that she, much like everybody else who chooses to opt into these types of affairs, are 2026 court jesters, period. And so view them as such, treat them as such. Therefore, you can't be disappointed when they start court gesturing it up.
Exactly. So... let them have it, man. Let them do what they do, and your attention is their currency. And when you don't pay them any mind, it doesn't feed the beast. So I've been turned the dial off on this thing here. So I suggest y'all do the same.
Yeah, those are all the way facts.
Hey, man, shouts out to the public. How about that, man? And 1,000 lashes for both Orange Man and Nicki Minaj. How about that?
That's right. Get them out of here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so we move on to a newcomer to the channel. This is fitness influencer Ashton Hall. So I get a lot of fitness content for obvious reasons. And he often shows up on my timeline. I don't follow him at all, but he just shows up. And he's always making these crazy workout videos where he's just, I would say he's on the fringes when it comes to his routines. There's a lot of extreme cardio mixed in with weightlifting, things that are very counterintuitive to the general public when it comes to weightlifting, but things work out for him. Now, I don't know what he's on. If he's on anything, I am not suggesting he is or is not. I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know much about him. That's all I'm trying to say. And I don't vouch for anybody in terms of their regimen or what they look like and the legitimacy therein if I don't know what they're about or who they are. So that's the only reason why I bring that up. I don't really know him like that, but his content is quite viral. He is quite popular online. He has a pretty sizable following. He's somebody who, he goes in real hard for Saratoga Water. He really vouches for it as like an ample resource as a part of his workout routine. And so he recently was on. I think he was on the Cam Newton show. I think it's the 4th and 1 show with Cam Newton, and he was talking about how he had an opportunity to be an official endorser of Saratoga Water, but he turned it down because the deal did not come with any particular ownership stake. And so because, he wasn't being offered any piece of equity in the company, he said no dice and he decided to turn it down, even though it likely would have been lucrative for him. Now, for comparison's sake, you can recall 50 Cent, who basically made a huge bag, not off music, but off of vitamin water, because he was an early investor in vitamin water all those years ago. Coca-Cola bought vitamin water. All of a sudden, because he was a stakeholder in vitamin water, he is now wealthy generationally because of his initial equity stake in vitamin water after it was bought for however many billions of dollars by Coca-Cola, right? So that can be the potential of having an ownership stake in anything that you are a part of, whether you're an endorser or somebody who's just like a stakeholder, but otherwise anonymous. So this guy, Ashton Hall, said thanks, but no thanks to Saratoga Water because of the absence of any sort of ownership stake or equity piece within the deal. So this says Ashton Hall says he turned down Saratoga Water deal over lack of equity. Ashton Hall has revealed why he turned down a potentially huge collaborative deal with Saratoga Water. Appearing on a new episode of Cam Newton's Funky Friday podcast, Hall confirmed he has no shares in Saratoga Water and is not officially partnered with the brand despite his morning routine videos sending searches for the company skyrocketing. Newton surfaced the question directly, asking Hall whether he held any shares in the brand. No shares. No, I'm actually not with them at all. The admission is striking, given how publicly Saratoga leaned into the viral wave. Hall said Saratoga had been pursuing a collaboration for some time, though he stopped short of detailing what the proposed terms looked like. According to Hall, what killed any potential agreement came down to one word: ownership. I'm just big on ownership. We can make cash, we can make money, that's cool. But it's like, I want to make money when I sleep. I want my kids to see what his dad did in 2025, 2026, in the years on, rather than just, we had a good year. He continued, I could get another watch, another car. So it's like, I like to invest my time into the companies that I can go in and have a big exit strategy with that particular company. Despite walking away from a deal Hall said he has no hard feelings toward the brand and continues to use the product organically. I got love. I still drink Saratoga. You see Saratogas all in my videos still to this day. So you can go ahead and play that video via the clip, which is, of course, linked in the description of this video for yourself. But there you go. Newcomer to the channel, Ashton Hall, saying he turned down this deal from Saratoga Water because it did not come along with any sort of ownership stake. What do you make of those comments?
It's kind of rough. I mean, I get where he's coming from, but if you're still going to have him in your videos, I think that should also be part of your stance.
That's right.
Yeah, so I kind of don't get that. If you plan on already having them and you were trying to strike a deal for a while, there was a lot of back and forth, and that was the final straw, like the straw that broke the camel's back there. By you taking that stand, by not taking the deal, I would also have extended me declining that deal because you didn't want to give me any equity in it, by also not giving you free advertisement anymore.
Right. I don't get it.
So if I'm going to sit here and give you free advertisement, you might as well get the checks that come with that. That won't be a good year if you continue to make content. That'd be a good couple of years, good, whatever. Hell, it might get to a point where they're Super Bowl commercial worthy. You could be in a Super Bowl commercial. I would have parlayed that. I mean, I get his point now. You know what I'm saying? Exit strategy, blah, 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 blah. And let's say that you're trying to set a precedent for yourself within the market because agents talk amongst each other, companies talk amongst each other, whatever. And they say, hey, man, this guy, he's going to want ownership, blah, 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 And so if you decide to go out there and, try to market yourself, to another company and say, hey, I'm going to want blah, blah, blah to do advertisement for you or whatever, they're going to look at you the same way if you took the deal without the equity. They're going to say, well, you're just doing stuff anyway. You're just one of these regular influencers. We can just pay you. We don't need you to have a part of our company. So by him even coming out to admit this to the public, it sounds good on one level only, that, okay, this guy's got principle standards. He want generational wealth. I can dig that. But on the back end of that, man, it's just like, okay, so you're just giving it away for free, and then all these other companies out here see that, well, you've got standards, but not really. So we can play you too. So I don't like that. So now, granted, I'm not in this position, man. Do your thing, bro. Make your money, blah blah. Because of course you're gonna have some Ashton stand, say that, oh well, he making more plays, making more money than you. Okay, bro, good for him, and I'm not even hating on that. My thing is I'm having this isolated conversation right here based on what he just said, and me personally, I may have settled or completely remove those people from my video and put on somebody else that is going to give me equal equity or all that. Because last thing I'll say is, because if searches for this brand went up since they've been in his little goofy videos, you can put on the next company, So I would have been had that going on and been got them out. So hey, who knows, man? I'm just a YouTube podcaster guy. What do I know? But what are your thoughts, man, on Ashton Hall having a stand and saying that, hey, if I'm not going to get any equity in the company, I'm not doing a deal, yet still have my stuff and have your stuff in my videos all the time? What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, you can throw me in that bucket because I'm with you. If you're going to make that decision, I'm not understanding the utility in continuing to endorse it for free. I agree with the principle, of course. And like I said, I used 50 Cent as an example because it's probably the best example that you can think of. 50 Cent, people, I hope I hope we're not far enough removed from the early 2000s to remember how 50 Cent came into the bracket that he is in terms of wealth. It wasn't from the music. It was from that vitamin water deal. The wealth that he has amassed as a result of Coca-Cola buying vitamin water is what put him in position to do what he's been doing, the last 10 years with his entertainment ventures and all of that stuff. So using that as the model, I certainly understand someone prioritizing any sort of equity stake as a part of any partnership deal. But what I don't understand is continuing to prop up that product, despite the fact that you turned down any sort of proposal due to a lack of ownership. At that point, you need to stop endorsing the product altogether, in my opinion. And it would be nice at some point for one of these influencers, especially someone in his position, to show us what the true power of these modern social influencers are. Because I am someone who is skeptical and cynical when it comes to the actual influential power that these individuals hold. I mean, I largely look at them as quasi television commercial actors who don't contribute anything to society. And they merely leverage their online platform in order to make money for doing nothing. Right. And a lot of people look at these influencer type people in that light. So I'm just one of the many who look at influencers that way. And if an influencer wants to prove the litany of people who judge them that way wrong, what better way to do that than to really show how influential you are by showing what could potentially happen if you decided, okay, I'm no longer going to talk about Saratoga Water in my content, because my voice is so palpable, right? And I do have such a wide-reaching influence on my listenership, on my viewership, on the people who follow along with my content. I want to exert as much of that power as possible. They didn't want to give me any sort of equity stake in their company. Okay, well, I'm going to take the power of my influence elsewhere. And you alluded to it when you said I'm going to put on another company, because that's essentially the same thing I'm saying. Right. It's like, okay, well, then go ahead and start drinking some other obscure premium water brand that most people might not necessarily be on, and put them on the same way that you may have contributed to putting on Saratoga Water. And maybe that company will give you the ownership stake that you're looking for.
Exactly.
Show skeptics like me that I'm nothing but a jealous old head, and that you really do have the power of influence in the culture that y'all claim y'all do. Take your voice and put it behind another product so that you can get whatever it is that you're looking for. But he opted not to do that, and he's still parroting the Saratoga Water brand, despite the fact that you wanted to seem all righteous by turning down this deal because they didn't want to make you an owner. I didn't buy it. To me, he looks like a foolish Negro. Honestly, that's how I look at this as smartest person in the room syndrome. Like, this is the kind of thing that a person says, and they think when they say it, they're being very profound. And people are going to listen to it and say, man, that's so brilliant. When really it's a dumb comment. And really it's a dumb decision. Take the checks or stand on business and don't go forward with talking about them in your video. Period. But if you're going to decline but still talk about them in your video, you really are defeating the purpose. And you're proving people like me, who look at y'all as goofy non-contributors to society, you're proving people like me right. When you should welcome trying to show the rest of the world that I'm just an old head hater who doesn't understand the algorithm and doesn't understand the kind of influence on the culture that y'all really do have. But what this guy just did is prove people like me right, because you look like you don't know what you're doing in this instance. So maybe word to the wise for the rest of these so-called influencers out here who think that they're smarter than everybody else, but really you're just no different. You think people are going to celebrate you because you turned down a check, when really all you did was expose yourself for having bad business decisions.
Hey man, well said, bro. And yeah, man. And I don't know what his deal is when it comes to Saratoga. So let's say that he really likes it like that. Okay, nobody's telling you you can't drink this behind closed doors, off camera, and advertise this other thing. So, like, I don't understand. So I don't know if he feels like he needs it in his videos.
No, I think he's saying that to appeal to people who have those sensibilities about them. Like, yeah, good job saying no to the man. I think that's what it's about. I think that's what it is, because that is a thing, right? That is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would imagine you got a whole as many followers as he has. There's gonna be an air of not kowtowing to the man that's gonna be endearing to the audience, and that's why I think people in his position are motivated to talk like that.
Yeah, that's wild business, man. So, hey, man, look, again, there's nothing stopping him from doing that behind closed doors. If that's his drink of preference, if he chooses to dunk his face in a bowl of ice water of that off camera, and then on camera do it with another company, I would have just played the game, man. But yeah, man, that was a false step. I would not have taken that. Now again, he's sitting on the couch for Cam Newton. He's out here, all these other things, influencing and on people's algorithms and stuff. So, there's something out there that he's got figured out. But that part of the game, I would say that he didn't get that figured out. That was a bad play. And me just sitting on my couch, I can say, hey, brother, I would not have done that. So I guess it's still not too late to remove that company from your videos. Because I get the appeal. I mean, it's a fancy looking bottle, and it probably fits his aesthetic. He probably you can't find another fancy ass bottle. So maybe that's his thing. But again, if all of these things are the case, bro, just take the damn checks and not do it for free. What kind of crap is that? So yeah, bro, I can't stand behind you on this one. I'm neutral to this guy. He comes across my feed. It's a little odd. Whenever I do see it, it's an instant skip because he's doing some buffoonery. But hey, man, it appeals to some people out there, and keep making your money. I guess you could. Is my point. So you're gonna get lashes for this one too, bro. Sorry, you're gonna have to get some lashes. It may not be 1,000, but it's damn sure 999.
Yeah, I mean, he's got on Instagram, he has 19 million followers, I think I saw. So that's a very large amount of followers on Instagram. And, you can leverage all of that for somebody else if you're really about that life. But it just kind of looks like you just said no to whatever the deal was. I don't want to, be presumptuous as to the nature of the deal or how much it was worth. But if you're still drinking it and you're still talking about how you drink it in your content, I feel like you just defeated the purpose. And I'm not exactly sure what point you're making by doing that, other than logically, just thinking about it logically, other than trying to appeal to people who are going to find it endearing that you said no to a lot of money. Because people do like that kind of stuff, but to what end? I'm not exactly sure what practical purpose is served.
Or he could be doing the guerrilla marketing tactic of advertising it without advertising it on Cam Newton's thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? Because you never know how these things work, man. But I'll just reserve the fact that he's not doing that, and that was a dumbass play. So 999 lashes, bro.
Yeah,
get out of here with that.
Yeah, don't get it. Cardi B is back at it again. Cardi B is unmuting about a parenting strategy that she is embracing. She is saying that she will kick her children out of the house. Well, no, more specifically, she is saying that if her sons get a girl pregnant, then at that point you have to learn how to be a man and you're getting kicked out of my house. So these comments have gone viral as of late with her unmuting in this way. She's got all kinds of strategies for how she's raising her children, but she does have this one standing rule when it comes to her sons. She's not really going to be a helicopter parent in terms of saying they can and can't do this, being super strict, but she is maintaining the general rule that getting a girl pregnant is going to make you persona non grata in my house and you're getting kicked out. So this says Cardi B says she'll kick her sons out if they get a girl pregnant. Learn how to be a man. Cardi B is making her parenting rules crystal clear, especially when it comes to her sons and the responsibilities of manhood. During an early morning Instagram live session on Thursday, the Grammy winner said she was enjoying a night out with some friends when a hot button topic came up at the dinner table. Would you allow your sons to bring girls to the crib? Cardi explained that while she plans to be somewhat lenient when it comes to dating, there's one strict boundary that will result in immediate eviction. She continued, when you become a man, it's no mommy money, it's no daddy's money, it's no mommy's roof. You have to get out of my house and you have to go get a job and you got to learn how to be a man. Elsewhere in the stream, the Am I the Drama rapper recalled that her son's own friends had boyfriends and were having sex as young as young as 11 years old. However, her mother made it very effing clear that she was only allowed to date once she turned 16. So let me stop reading these quotes and let me just play some of her actually espousing her manifesto on her Instagram live.
Mm-hmm.
I just bought a new phone because my old one, it just gave up. For me to adjust, I had a 16 plus. That's what I had, Carlene?
Yeah, 16 Max. Pro Max.
I had a 16 Max Pro Max, whatever the fuck you say. And now I have a what?
A 17 Pro Max.
Now I have a 17 Pro Max, and I'm really fucking sad because it's hard for me to adjust. I told you I have attachment issues. Everything looks different. It's weird as fuck. Like, I'm getting a headache just like I'm just like really sad. This is my old phone, and I really miss all these things all the time because like your kids are young right now, but next thing you know, your kids are gonna be teenagers anytime soon. Like my daughter's 8, trust, soon enough she'll be 13. And this is the rule for me, right? My mom, all my friends were allowed to have boyfriends practically at 11. I know bitches that was fucking at 11. You know what I'm saying? I have bitches that have boyfriends at 13 and shit. Like, nah. My mom made it very fucking clear that I was allowed to have boyfriends at 16. Like, I couldn't even talk to niggas on the phone until like I was 16. So, as much as I hated it, my daughters, I want them, like, if they're going to have a boyfriend, I want them to be at 16. And the reason why is because once girls have boyfriends and everything, first of all, let's talk about the sexual things, right? Kissing turns into touching. Touching turns into fucking. I don't want none of my daughters to be doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not even about the sexual things neither. Like, girls are very sensitive. Once girls have a little boyfriend, that's all they think about. Like, the term girl crazy is like boy crazy is a thing. Once a girl have a boyfriend, they get too emotional. They stop caring about school. They stop caring about their future. Like, they're not focused on everything. All they could focus about is boys. I feel like my mom was so strict. My mom was so strict that she scared. Lost my virginity at 16.
I'm trying to skip ahead.
Hennessy lost her virginity almost 13, 14. They were days. Like, boys are gonna do whatever the fuck they want, especially they're not gonna be listening to their moms like that. So I will let my sons bring.
Yeah, of course it wants to buff.
Right.
Girls to their house, but the doors can be fucking closed. Yeah, I will let my sons bring have a little girlfriend at 13. But this is what we was talking about though, right? If my sons ever tell me that they have a girl pregnant, that is the day. I'm not the type of mom that is like, no, you can't have girls over and everything. I'm not that type of mom. But the day that you tell me that you got a girl pregnant, it will be the day that you will have to get the fuck out of my house.
I actually think this is a part of the video. So
Yeah, that's her. That's her.
Not
boyfriend.
because I'm mean. It's because once you make grown men decision that you're going to be that once you do a dumb decision to get a girl knocked up, that means you have to become a man. And when you become a man, it's no mommy's money, it's no daddy's money, it's no mommy's roof. You have to get out of my house and you have to get a job and you got to learn how to be a man. My plans for my children is for the future. When my kids are teenagers, I'm planning to give them an allowance. When my kids are 18, they have two options. All right? These are my options for my two kids. If you want to move out of my
all right, so that's you get the gist.
Mhm.
She said the part that we needed her to say. That's the day you're getting kicked out because you need to learn how to be a man. No more mommy's money, no more daddy's money. So what do you think about somebody in the comments on that stream said that she was the queen of hip hop? And it was a guy, it was a dude who said it too. It's like,
yeah, but what kind of dude? You know what I'm saying? Kind of dude we talking about, man.
Oh yeah, that's a great question. But
Yeah,
so what do you think about what she said there?
Hey, listen, man. It makes sense in a universe. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I guess you can set that framework and that ground level thing of your whatever level of comfort that you have right now as a person that don't have no responsibilities, ain't got no bills to pay, if you want to keep enjoying that, don't get no bop pregnant. So if you want to, this because when a person's that age, bro, ain't no standing in the corner. Ain't no giving them no whooping. There's no amount of punishment of staying in your room that's gonna make them understand the consequence and the level of the consequence of bringing a child into this world. So if the threat of I'm gonna kick you out of here, maybe he'll scrap up. Maybe he'll watch his pumps. You know what I'm saying? So if that's like the ground level of, hey, what else am I going to tell this child to make sure that they're not doing the wrong thing when they just, trying to have fun or whatever the hell. I guess I can get that, but I don't think it's just that with her. I think she's really going to just kick him out and say that, hey, you're a man now, and it's raps for you. I'm not giving you no money, and all that other stuff, because some people, some parents, man, they look for excuses to kick kids out of the house. You're the one that raised them, by the way, as the parent. And I've heard stories where, people got kicked out of the house at 16, 17, 18 years old, because, the parents got senioritis. They didn't feel like closing the last few years. They couldn't wait until they got out of high school so they can kick them out of the house. And they look for infractions to speed up that kicking them out. So now they got to live with grandma. Now they got to do this, now they do that. So I've seen that side of people, parenting as well. But as far as trying to keep them hormones of them young people in check,
yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah,
I don't know how. First of all, I don't know how you're gonna do that when you're the queen of box. She's not the queen of hip hop. She's the queen of box at this point. You know what I'm saying? So when they see you literally walking around the house with a BBL, not a BBL. I mean, I don't know how many BBL she's on at this point. I mean, she looks absolutely ridiculous. There's nothing appealing about that. But you'll still see the bots in the comment section going, "Oh yeah, she did." And then, or the girl, someone, "Oh, she ate with that." She ate with what? You know, it's ridiculous, man. So, but you know, if your son literally watching you walk around the house with BBLs, plural, you know what I'm saying? You know, Stephon Diggs is his dad. You know what I'm saying? You know, Offset is his stepdaddy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the environment this young person's around. At this point, you know, I'm not going to speak ill will on the kid, but they're in a tough situation. And for you to ask them to keep it all under wraps, have some self-control and stuff when you don't exhibit self-control, his dad didn't practice self-control. You know, you're putting that young person at a disadvantage. So what I would say is it's going to take a lot more than the simple threat of saying I'm going to kick you out of the house to prevent that from happening. So that's why I say layer one. If it's layer one of, hey, let me set the stage to let you know I ain't playing, you know, that's fine. But then there's going to have to be additional layers of parenting to ensure that this young person is having fun responsibly, whatever the hell that looks like. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, best of luck, man. But what are your thoughts on Cardi B laying down the law, saying that, hey, man, if you get one of these bops pregnant, I'm kicking your arse out of the house. What are your thoughts, man?
I understand the sentiment, and I'm not totally going to kill it. But I also hope that she is prioritizing teaching her daughters the proper way to vet and choose the right kind of men. But I doubt that she does that because that's not a skill that she possesses.
Yeah, she doesn't have it.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, like, you know, a running theme throughout this channel is me when it comes to these kinds of topics. I'm pretty consistent in saying that I largely hold men responsible because of my belief that men are the heads of household. And so if I am to believe that men are the heads of household, then I have to hold men ultimately most responsible when the household goes left. You can't have it both ways where you claim that as a man you're a head of household, but then want to shift blame to the woman or the mother of your children or the baby mama or the wife or whomever you want to shift the blame to whenever things go sideways. No, you're the man in the equation. You are the head of household. I believe men's responsibility is to be heads of household. So when the household isn't functioning at an optimal level, ultimate responsibility for that must fall on you, sir, not her. It is not her fault. It ain't that she went crazy. It's that you mismanaged the situation, period. And I'm consistent in that belief. Having said that, however, I do believe that when things do go left in a household, women do share some responsibility. Like there's some accountability that has to happen here. Like whenever these women get on their soapboxes talking about how bad the dating pool is, and they're always, you know, talking about their negative experiences with men, they never take inventory on their own choices. It's always everybody else's fault. It's always these men do this and these men do that, and these men are always going to do this. And I never hear many of these women who feel so inclined to unmute on the internet actually engage in a little accountability and say, you know what? I'm the common denominator in all of these situations that play out around me. Maybe I need to evaluate why I always find myself in these situations and learn how to make different decisions. So if she is indeed a proponent of, because it sounds to me like she is not a proponent of men getting women pregnant early in life, or rather men getting women pregnant at a point when they may not understand the gravity of that responsibility. It sounds like she's not a proponent of that, because if she were, she wouldn't be establishing any of these types of ground rules. So if you are indeed not a proponent of that, then to a certain extent, the door has to swing both ways, where you not only chastise your sons by kicking them out the house, but you're also admonishing your daughters on the consequences that can come along with getting pregnant before you should be.
Mm-hmm.
And part of you getting pregnant before you should be is understanding the importance of making the right kinds of decisions when it comes to the men that you're around. So, she's making it seem as though it's all about boys getting women pregnant. And that is a sizable part of the equation. Don't get me wrong. But another sizable part of the equation is women like her who exemplify a lack of accountability when you're just perpetuating baby mama, baby daddy dynamics repeatedly because you don't know how to keep it in the pants yourself by choosing the right kind of man.
Exactly.
So it's boo-boo the fool on you too, because nobody told you to get pregnant by Stephon Diggs after you got pregnant by Offset. There is a pathology there with your decision making that you need to get to the root of to understand why you are choosing the kind of person that increases the likelihood that you are going to end up yet another single mother, yet another baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
And telling your sons that they're going to kick you out of the house. I mean, telling your sons that you'll kick them out of the house if they get a girl pregnant is only half of that equation.
Correct.
There's a whole other half to it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, she doesn't possess that skill. So of course, I'm perhaps being unreasonable by suggesting that she also needs to prioritize that.
Yeah.
When she does not embody it herself. It's clearly a skill that she lacks.
Correct.
But because of that lack of accountability, she's not doing the best possible job to ensure that her next generation is a bit more stable from a familial standpoint than the familial infrastructure that she was able to curate, which has a lot to do with the guys that she allowed to get her pregnant.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I hope that she figures that out, but given her consistent decision making, the likelihood is that she won't. But she needs to realize at some point that that's a whole other aspect of the conversation. It's not merely just about making sure that the sons understand the consequences of getting somebody pregnant.
Exactly. And so, yeah, man. So kids emulate their parents, man. I've said it on here before. Everybody knows it. So she needs to be the example. She's already started off on the wrong foot or foots. So she's on a generational run. I don't know how you can get worse than Stephon Diggs, but something tells me the next person's going to be worse than Stephon Diggs because there's going to be another guy. So I don't know who is out there that's going to be more embarrassing than he was, but something tells me she's going to find a way to find him. So when she's setting the stage, when she's showing you the ropes, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not, man, I done dealt with females that grew up with moms that were fast. You know what I'm saying? They were, always having a dude in and out of the house, and it had an impact on them. That's why they were fast. And, they would tell me that they didn't want to be like that or they're not like that or whatever, but clearly they were. All right. And it's just the fruit don't fall too far. And they grow up in that house and they see it. Now, has everybody in that situation exactly emulated? No. But I mean, the odds are some of the fruits roll downhill. Most of them stay around the tree. So when she's out here setting all these examples, so for Cardi B, it's not just dudes coming in and out of the house. It's all the public fallout. It's all on social media. So once these boys start going to school, once these daughters start going to school, and everybody know their business, they know their whole family history, it's not clean. And what kind of effects is that going to have? So she's in a different kind of battle. So she can say all of these things and it kind of sounds good. But as we've already said, man, there's layers to this. And if she stops there, that's a good bet of him coming home one day and, he's 13 years old and he already out here. So, yeah, man. And when it comes to the because we talked about this when we brought up the Nick Cannon situation with these young people, man, because it was already rough in our generation. And growing up, I was like, once I was like out of high school and stuff, and I'm hearing what's going on in elementary school bathrooms and stuff like that, and that was Cinemax, HBO. That wasn't this stuff that we seeing right now. And you don't even have to go to an adult site to see too much. So these kids are getting exposed to all kinds of stuff at all kinds of ages. So I don't know what's happening right now. And I don't know what's going to happen when her kids are finally hitting that age and hitting that stride. It's going to be hell on earth. So, I mean, good luck if that's the only thing you're doing. And do I have an answer? No, I don't. I don't, man. I think this is the battle that all parents are going to have to deal with, because keeping this stuff under control and making sure that your child is making the right. I mean, this was stuff that you have to talk to your kids as they're getting out of high school, and hey, man, you're gonna have to have these conversations earlier and earlier. So she's kind of on a level of having that conversation early and allowing them to. But at the same time, you can't stop there. It's a whole game out there. I mean, this is the woman who would rug men and have their transgendered friend grape them. So if you come from the bottom, if that's where you used to be, I'm not saying, well, there's on the internet, so they would know about it. You would have to share some game with these kids if they're already out here dating. And as crazy as all of this stuff sounds, I don't know how else to protect them besides telling them what's going on. Because the more you leave out, the more you omit, the more they're going to try to find it on their own. And then they'll be the person, getting rugged. And the trans, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. It's a wild situation, man. I don't have answers, but hopefully Cardi B has more of an answer than what she gave us.
Yeah, I think she told half the story. And again, do I weight most of the responsibility towards men? I do, due to my belief, principally, that men are most responsible for the direction that a household goes in. But beyond, be that as it may, women need to be held accountable for some of that fallout too. And it's a lot of their decision making that factors into it, and they aren't held accountable enough. They don't hold themselves accountable enough for their questionable decision making. You cannot make the same types of decisions repeatedly, and then continuously blame the rest of the world when things pan out in predictable ways. I don't see how you can do that. But that doesn't stop them from doing it anyway, because, and I'm not putting this on her. I'm not necessarily projecting into the future, but let's say she gets with the next rapper or the next NBA player or the next football player, gets pregnant, has a kid, and that's another relationship that didn't work out. She'll be back on the gram making posts talking about how much she hates men. And at a certain point, you need to take inventory as to the kinds of decisions that you're making that puts you that lead to you being there. It ain't all the rest of the world, or it ain't all the men, because not every man's going to put you in that situation. It's the men you're electing to be around who are going to put you in that situation. And that, my dear, is a you problem.
Exactly.
And so there is a valuable lesson that needs to be had from that is critical to impart to your own daughters so that they don't repeat a lot of those same decisions. But unfortunately, because she lacks that particular skill set, she likely won't impart that skill to her daughter. And while she's sitting around worrying about what her son's doing, she's going to be taking care of her granddaughter because her daughter is going to be getting pregnant anyway. So, good luck to her. But she's only telling one half the story, trust me. And there are far too many of these women out here who are engaging in this weirdo psychology where they just don't understand the role they play in these situations, and they utterly refuse to hold themselves responsible for it.
And man, the whole internet before she got pregnant by Stephon Diggs. The whole internet warned her about Stephon Diggs.
Bro,
So,
I'm pretty sure you could have got on Kalshi and placed future.
hey, I'm not a Kalshi guy.
Hey, look,
but I would
man,
have damn sure put some bread on that, boy.
you could have got on Kalshi and bet on the futures of that playing out the way that it did.
That's crazy, man.
Hey, listen, good luck to Cardi. Good luck to you, Cardi. You are a friend of the channel, but on this one, you left half the story out, and it's missing the mark.
Mm-mm-mm.
We move on to Kevin Durant coming to the defense of friend of the channel, LeBron James. So, for anybody who's been living under a rock or doesn't necessarily follow sports, LeBron, thank you, Jesus, has signed with the Philadelphia 76ers, not the Miami Heat. Thank God. And so, now there's all sorts of commentary. The gas bags and sports media are coming out giving their opinions about the nature of the move and how well the team might perform and what position he's going to play and this, that, and the third. And you have the gas bags also giving their thoughts on whether this is another example. This is an example of LeBron ring chasing, because, ring chasing is a thing that they do when it comes to NBA commentary. And Kevin Durant is coming to the defense of LeBron, saying, what of it? Essentially, he's saying, who cares if it is ring chasing? The NBA players are either ring chasing, money chasing, or stat chasing. So he's basically saying, get off LeBron's case, because that's a part of the culture of the NBA. It's not that big of a deal. So this says Kevin Durant has blunt response to LeBron James ring chaser critics. Kevin Durant has a blunt response to LeBron James ring chaser critics. Originally appeared on, okay, so that's just a forewarning. Okay. After a long wait, LeBron James finally signed a 2-year, $8 million deal with the Sixers on July 24th. The contract includes a player option and represents a massive pay cut from the nearly $53 million he made with the Lakers last season. At 41, James is joining a loaded Sixers roster that already features Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and the newly acquired Jaylen Brown. In the process, the shocking figure of his contract is what set off the ring chasing talk. Critics online labeled the move as a desperate chase for a fifth title rather than a genuine basketball fit. James's longtime rival and friend, Kevin Durant, completely disagrees with the critics. Posting on Threads, Durant fired back at the ring chasing narrative, arguing that fan criticism has turned toxic. He pointed out that people are quick to judge a player they do not even know personally. His best point came when a fan asked him if joining a stacked team counts as ring chasing. The Houston Rockets forward wrote, everybody in the NBA is either chasing rings, shot attempts, or money. KD famously left a 67-win Oklahoma City Thunder team to join a 73-win Golden State Warriors squad back in 2016. Because of that, he knows exactly what it feels like to face the same criticism James is dealing with today. Durant literally told one critic to quit overthinking it and just watch how the season plays out. Time is running out for the 41-year-old James, but he wants a fifth ring to get within 2 of Michael Jordan's 6. Not only James, but every star in the NBA is chasing something, whether it is a championship, more shots, or a bigger paycheck. So James choosing a ring over money is not a scandal. So that is KD coming to the defense of LeBron, saying every NBA player is chasing rings, stats, or money. And so what's the big deal? Now, I'm, of course, putting words in his mouth with that what's the big deal part, but that's what KD has to say. So he's defending LeBron on that. What do you think?
I think, first of all, LeBron has done all 3 of those things. I guess in this case, you could say that he's not, since he's taken the vet minimum, but it's not an either or. These guys everybody's trying to do all 3 at this point, which is unfortunate. And that's why the game isn't entertaining as it used to be. But these guys don't care about putting on a show. They care about the bag. And, on one degree, it's hard to fault them for wanting the bag. But, this is why the sport is in the state that it's in. It's on life support right now. It really is, bro. For Adam Silver to essentially beg LeBron to go ahead and sign a contract so we can go ahead and come out with the schedule. It's disgusting. That is absolutely gross, bro. And if people wanted to know if Adam Silver was bending over for LeBron before, that should have told you at that point. So all of that stuff that people, all those other theories that people was coming up with, that they came up with the in-season tournament and all these other things and all this other stuff for LeBron and all this other stuff for LeBron. It's like, yeah, he is the cash cow, and they're going to try to milk this thing for as much as they possibly can. And so, in this deal here, to me, it's gross. But something tells me, unless there's high levels of collusion, something tells me they're still not going to win. That could be the hater inside of me, but something tells me that they're not even going to win. So to me, this brings in perspective the Jaylen Brown deal, which was shiesty. Come on, everybody and their mama knew that Jaylen Brown trade was bogus. But so they trade Jaylen Brown for absolute pennies. And then LeBron signs for the vet minimum. This is NBA collusion. I don't care what anybody says. This is NBA collusion. This was Philadelphia has the right pieces in place. They have the right pieces in place. So they got Maxey, they got Ashcombe, whatever with Embiid, but it's still Embiid, I guess.
He ain't gonna be there. He's always hurt.
Well, we'll see this season, right? And he can take games off there too, pretty much. But of course, he's going to be there for playoff time. But I'm saying all this stuff to say is that this is collusion. I don't know what's going on here, but this stinks. This whole thing stinks to me. When it comes to who cares about LeBron ring chasing and all that other stuff, if it's who cares, then don't bring it up. Don't bring up that you've got this many rings, because who cares? You can't have it both ways. You can't say who cares who ring chases, and by the way, I got 3 rings. I don't care that you have 3 rings, because who cares? Rings meant something. It meant that you've earned it. And by ring chasing, there's really no earning there. You know, it's like a game. It's like a game, and you put all the sliders to the easiest possible mode ever. Who gives a damn if you're winning? I guess you're having fun, but you didn't beat the game. You're just out there. And so for the same thing for LeBron and all these other guys, for what KD did, and of course he's going to defend it because his entire legacy is that he ring chased. So of course he's under the defense of another ring chaser. But to me, the problem with basketball and NBA is that the competitive nature of it is completely gone. And so this is a problem that I don't see ever getting fixed, honestly. So NBA collusion, I think 100%. I think this is completely 100% orchestrated. And to me, the Jaylen Brown trade now makes sense. Adam Silver is a complete female dog, and he bends over backwards for LeBron because he doesn't know how to run a league for real. So he depends on a 41-year-old, and of course,
him and Curry,
but it's really LeBron. I mean, he didn't tell Curry to. I never heard him beg Curry for anything.
Well, Curry's never been a free agent. LeBron's always been free agency.
Yeah, but still, this is the Well, I put it this way: LeBron is his bottom female dog. So a lot of female dogs in the building tonight. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So with all of these things being said, if they ever want to know why the ratings are the way they are, if they ever wanted to know why people who've watched basketball their entire lives are no longer watching, it's for garbage like this. So who does care? I guess I don't care no more either. But what are your thoughts, man, on Kevin Durant coming to the defense of LeBron James? Set for the critics that say he's out here ring chasing. What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I think Kevin Durant is going to be eternally sensitive to the narrative that he went and joined a team that couldn't be beat, and that's why he is a champion. And I've also said, obviously, I don't know Kevin Durant, but I personally believe that I believe Kevin Durant views himself as one of the greatest players ever, but he understood that no one who hasn't won championships is talked about as one of the greatest players ever. So he tried to reverse engineer the process by putting himself in position in which it was more likely than not that he was going to win, so that no one could say he's not one of the greatest players ever because he didn't win rings. I think that if the NBA discourse didn't overly emphasize an accumulation of championships, I don't think Kevin Durant would have joined Golden State all those years ago. That's my personal opinion. That's what I've always believed. I think that him doing that was literally in response to what he can see, which is the same thing that I see, which is that counting rings has become an overly emphasized aspect of NBA commentary, toxically so. And so if there is one aspect of this in which I will come to the defense of KD, it is that I sympathize with these players who believe that they are truly great and who believe that they have contributed to the game in ways that might go beyond other players. And just in a vacuum, they believe that they're better than everybody else, but they know that they will never be talked about in that way because gas bags on television and podcasts are going to sit around talking about how many rings you accumulated, which is ridiculous. Like, a guy with one ring can be greater than a guy with 5 rings if he was truly a greater player. But the way that NBA commentary goes is, and Jordan did this, to be clear, Jordan did this, is now what's a part of it is an accumulation of rings, as if becoming a multi-champion is an easy thing to do. Like, oh no, you need to have 2 or 3 or 4 because that's it's impossible. That is not easy to do. That's a hard standard to maintain. It's hard to do that. That's why only a fraction of NBA players have done that. 1, 3, 4, 5, and all of this kind of stuff. That's not an easy thing to do. It takes so much luck and being in the right place at the right time on the right franchise with the right staff and the right ownership and the right GM and the right coach and nobody getting hurt. Like, it takes so much going right in your career to be in position to do that. And to basically say certain players are better than others just because they got more of those rings, given the fact that there's so many other nuances that go into it, is ridiculous. And that, in my opinion, is a part of the NBA discussion that has contributed to the downfall of it that you speak of. Because NBA commentary is rife with this garbage. This guy won 4 or 5 or whatever. It's stupid. So I hear where I sympathize with NBA players who are caught trying to navigate this situation, and a guy like KD who just cares about playing basketball. I really do think KD just cares about playing basketball. I mean, he went to go play for the Rockets. He went to go play with the Nets. KD don't care about none of this stuff. KD just like playing basketball and getting paid. Otherwise, why would you go play in Brooklyn? There's no foundation there for winning.
Well, there's no foundation, but the Kyrie James Harden thing was supposed to be a thing.
Right, but it was supposed to be a thing so that he can go and hoop with guys that he likes. It wasn't necessarily about, oh, let's go and start racking up all of these rings, because he would have did something different. But because there's just this albatross of ring counting that's a part of the NBA discourse that has tainted it. And so now you have players making decisions like this accordingly. Now, where I will come off this train, however, is y'all don't got to drink this Kool-Aid. LeBron's drinking the Kool-Aid. LeBron clearly believes that he needs 4, 5, 6, 7 championships to be universally regarded as the greatest ever.
Right.
He knows that's why he's still playing. See, if LeBron was content with his career, he would have retired. He's not content with his career. He wants to keep playing because he's drinking the Kool-Aid and believes he needs 5 and 6 so that people can just universally look at him in that light because he cares. So if you care, don't try to convince me that you don't and that all you want to do is care. Like he's been transparent enough to admit that he's still trying to win, but don't do this disingenuous thing where you don't care about people thinking you're the greatest ever, because you do care about that.
He says it all the time.
Yeah, you clearly care about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I won't side with KD on this one, because y'all don't got to drink none of this Kool-Aid. You can be content with your career and understand the contribution that you made without capitulating to this ring chasing stuff.
Yep.
But you're falling in line with it. So is it my fault or yours, bro? You don't gotta fall in line with that. And LeBron clearly believes it, because for him, all of his counting numbers and his 4 rings and his MVPs and his finals MVPs aren't enough. He wants people to believe that he's the greatest ever. And he wants it to be a universally understood opinion. It's not enough to him that he has his machine that already believes it. He wants everybody to believe that. He does, and why? And so the pursuit of 5 of the 5th championship is to me clearly indicative of him drinking the ring chasing Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to have sympathy for you I'm not going to have sympathy for you when you clearly believe in it and you drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, no.
You're about it too. So why should I sympathize? I don't give a damn. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, as far as I'm concerned, everybody keeps acting like there's this 2-horse race with Jordan and LeBron. And that's a disrespect to Kobe, because Kobe's above LeBron still. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Kobe's number 2, and LeBron at best is number 3.
Yeah. That, I mean, yeah, at best, I guess. He's nowhere near anything for me. And people can call me a hater, that's fine. Because I'm and all that other stuff. Just really not. So, but yeah, man, the guy's been in the league for 23 years. This is going to be his 24th season. 4 rings. It's a joke. It's a joke, man. You can cry or say that the league is tougher than it ever was. The competitive balance is stronger than it's ever been. I don't want to hear it. For the greatest player to ever play the game, it should show. And if you're living by these standards of greatness that it equals all of these rings, you should have had a better ratio in your career.
That's correct.
So if you play 24 seasons, you know what I'm saying? Let's stick with 23. If you logged in 23 seasons and you're with this standard, I need at least 8 or 9. At least. You know what I'm saying? Because that's less than 50% of your career. You know what I'm saying? But it's still a good chunk of rings. And when you look at the rosters that he's been on, he should have won that many. He's never really, like, in all of his 23 years, because people love to talk about his days in Cleveland, that was relatively good for what was going on back then. And so for his 23 seasons, I can argue, without even looking at anything, that at least 15 of those years, he had teams that could win. And he's only got 4 rings. That should tell you something. It should. But it's not going to tell anybody anything. And let's say that he does win 2 rings as he closes out his career. Perfect for the NBA collusion. You know what I'm saying? He tied with Jordan. He surpasses Kobe. All right. Let's say he does that, and he ends his career on a high note. You know, off into the sun. You know what I'm saying? Had both his sons in the league at the same time as him. All this narrative. All this narrative. The only people that's honestly going for this is young, like really young people, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you were born around 2000, you know what I'm saying, and in that ballpark, then you think LeBron's the GOAT. You know, and honestly, there's nothing else that he needs to do to convince you any otherwise. But if you've seen basketball for other generations, you can clearly tell that this is not excellence. This is good athleticism, but it's not basketball excellence. And 23 seasons, 4 rings, that should tell you enough. But you know, for all of these ring people. So anyway, man, he can have it, because I've been stopped caring honestly about the NBA because of all of this garbage. Everything that you mentioned about all the you know, the gas bags just tainting the game. Now, if you talk to a young person, they don't know what's up or down, and they talk about rings like it's the only thing that matters. They talk about stats as if that's the only thing that matters. I appreciate basketball players. I like hoopers. And just because you're a hooper doesn't mean you score 25 a game. And just because you score 25 a game don't mean you're a hooper. But you can't tell these young people that. So, you know, there's a whole disconnect. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not even that invested to correct, because honestly, there is no correcting. But there's too much going on for me to go, you know what, I'm still invested in basketball. I'm really not. So you could think LeBron, you could think KD, you could think all of these guys that honestly that were in our generation that actually really sent it into the depths of hell. So now we got the new breed of SGA type behavior, where they're flopping and doing all this other weird stuff, and it's hard to cheer for him. I can't even cheer for him no more with all the weird stuff he does. So, you know, Cade Cunningham is my new guy. Anthony Edwards, and, you know, amongst a few other young people that I feel still play basketball the right way. But other than that, man, LeBron can have it. To hell with it. Sorry, Jaylen Brown. Now I got to cheer against you. Sorry, Tyrese Maxey, and sorry, Edgecombe. But I'm actively cheering against y'all right now. And I honestly, I think the universe is too. So best of luck to y'all.
I agree. Oh yeah, it wouldn't be a season without rooting against whatever team LeBron is on. I'm definitely with you on that. Again, I just praise the Lord that he didn't come back to me.
Man, oh man, that would have been.
I'm just so happy. But you know, I wish that I could say that your feelings on the NBA are misguided, but I couldn't tell you that. I can't. I think this like the last season is probably the least amount of like watch time that I devoted to games, regular season or postseason.
Yeah, man.
And it's just indicative of the exhaustion that I am currently experiencing with the way these guys play, the way teams structure the rosters, and just the general way that the game is talked about. It's reached the point of exhaustion for me. Unfortunately, I wish I could say something different, but I can't. I'm just glad that I don't. I'm personally, the dividing line for me is I'm currently set up in a pretty sweet spot to where I don't have to pay to watch any of this stuff. But if I was in a situation in which I had to actually pay money to get access to watching games, then I'd be out. I'd probably
do it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do it, man. Last thing I'll say, bro, I think last year I probably watched, and I'm not even joking, bro. Like, I've watched less than 5 games last year. And even in those games, it was probably like the first half or maybe the second half. Like, I didn't watch a full game. I didn't watch any full game probably in the last 2 years, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, and it's not hard. Before it was hard. Now it's just like, who gives a damn? Oh, they playing? You know, I'll put a little cash on it, but that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. The NBA's trash, man. So Who gives a damn anymore? Yeah,
I
man.
wish I could disagree with you, man, but I can't, unfortunately.
Mm-mm-mm.
And in our in our continuing coverage of the debauchery taking place at the Usher and Chris Brown tour, we have another situation playing out here in which a woman who was called onto the stage to participate in Usher's performance, she looked visibly discomforted by the
Yes.
interaction, and so
Yes.
because of how uncomfortable she looked, the internet is flaming her. Now she's coming to her defense because the internet is saying based on her reaction, she looks like she's a mean girl. And so now she's defending herself against the idea that she's a mean person, saying the only reason why y'all think I'm mean is because I'm pretty. That's literally what she's saying. She is saying she is saying pretty privilege is what has y'all believing that I'm mean because of how I was looking on stage with Usher. So we'll get into this. Now, this woman's name is Gabrielle Cheyenne. Now, that doesn't sound like a government name, so I don't know. I don't know if that's some kind of stage name, performance name. I don't know if that's like her OF name. I don't know this woman at all, but that doesn't sound like the name that's on a birth certificate. I could be wrong, but it just doesn't sound like it. But this says Gabrielle Cheyenne believes pretty privilege has led to unfair narratives following Usher controversy. Gabrielle Cheyenne has been thrust into the limelight following a viral exchange with Usher in Nashville over the weekend. The woman was invited on stage for Usher's performance, although she was not feeling it. Subsequently, the singer recognized this and had her removed from the stage. Amidst social media scrutiny, Gabrielle Cheyenne took to Facebook and said she was invited into the VIP section due to pretty privilege. She also stated that she wanted to be on stage for Chris Brown, not Usher. Yes, I went on stage, and no, they don't tell you who, what, when, where. Baby, I was going up there. Baby, I wasn't going up there for Usher. I was going up for Chris and Chris only. Anyways, anybody who wasn't sitting VIP or has a face card that doesn't qualify should hush.
Wow.
Her comments led to even more scrutiny, with some feeling as though she was doing too much. Others called her a mean girl for the way she was carrying herself. On Monday, Cheyenne responded to the critics, stating that blogs and big websites are painting false narratives. She stated that pretty privilege has some people assuming that she is a mean girl, which could not be further from the case. Gabrielle Cheyenne appears to be fed up with the way people have been discussing her, which is understandable. However, on the Jasmine brand, commenters believe Cheyenne is solely to blame for her current predicament. Know your response has people thinking that, one person wrote in regard to the alleged narratives. Can we wrap this up within the next 48 hours, please? Said another. In a few days from now, this entire situation will likely be done and over with. If it's not, then social media will be thoroughly annoyed. So here is this, what's her name? Gabrielle Cheyenne. So here is this Gabrielle Cheyenne defending herself against claims that she's a mean girl.
A person that's around here wanting the latest drama, wanting to be in drama. You've never seen me post a fight. You've never seen me post on social media about me being in tour with anybody. I don't even post my real life. Y'all don't know if I'm in a relationship, if I'm not in a relationship, who I'm with, where I'm at, or anything. And this has been blown way out of proportion. It was never supposed to be this big. I got on stage with Usher. In front of thousands of people, whether if it was me wanting to just have the experience or just me to be seen, or how do y'all know that once I got up there, I didn't feel uncomfortable or whatever? Like,
oh, but wait, there is indeed more.
Goodness.
I didn't think it would be this serious. And then for all these news articles and these big sites to try and take my words and flip them around and anything like that with the pretty privileges or anything like that, trying to paint me as a mean girl. I don't be on social media.
All right, so here is her like response to y'all haters out there, right?
Oh my
So
God.
it says, first off, nobody is declining to go on stage. I look good as hell. You thought I wasn't gonna let thousands of people see me. So she's basically saying I look so good, why wouldn't I get up on stage? On the big screen where you know, female dogs will never be. My mom and I had floor seats. Their team approached us and moved us to VIP before the show even started. Pretty privileges, something you hoes will never know about. They don't say who you're going up there for. Y'all wanted me to get up there and F him, ATP. Chat folks aren't used to anything. That's the most exciting thing that would have happened in y'all little ass lives. F y'all disrespectfully. And so here are some screenshots of the situation here. So these aren't videos. Don't worry about that.
Damn.
Okay, so yeah, she's saying pretty privilege has nothing to do with what happened. She was there for Chris Brown, but then she also turns around and said, "I look so good.
Right.
Why wouldn't I accept the VIP invite and get on stage so that y'all can see how good I look?" So
right.
Here we go once again with these diabolically delusional women,
Yeah.
not holding themselves accountable for anything. But go ahead.
I mean, honestly, bro, like I felt like, you know, I was losing brain cells when she was talking, man. Like, what kind of crap was that? Like, she didn't even know what she wanted to say. And as far as her saying, like, oh yeah, I got invited to go to the VIP, and we ain't know, you know, who we was going up for. That's fair. So I'll give you that. So they was going through the crowd, they picked out the baddies, and they put you in a pit with the rest of the baddies. That's fair. So she thinks she's gonna be there for Breezy. Totally get that. When Chris Brown is not currently on stage, and then they say you had an option. You can either decline or say, I'm here for Chris Brown. She didn't do either one of those things, I'm assuming. She damn sure didn't decline, because there's a video of her walking up to the stage. So Usher's on stage and she's walking up to Usher. And her explanation and her excuse is, I look too good to not have thousands of people look at me. What kind of crap is that? What kind of dumb stuff? I've never heard anybody say anything like that. That's probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And that's not an exaggeration. That's why I said, like, I'm losing brain cells. How is it to talk to this person? Who's around this person? How are conversations? It sounds like she just go to brunch all day. It sounds like that's all she do. Get flued out and do brunches.
Yeah, and be on yachts.
Yeah, and be on yachts. Oh, I'm not a mean girl because I'm not on social media. What the hell does that mean? Just because you don't have or you're not on social media doesn't mean like you a mean girl is just a mean girl, and you're carrying that energy completely.
Yep.
And so her entire video was mean girl energy, and that entire post was mean girl energy. Basically saying you ugly female dogs can't understand what I go through. That's mean girl energy. That's you and another group of baddies being mean to, you know, people. And when I say baddies, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying? Now, I gotta explain this for the masses.
I know what you mean.
Because when I say baddie, that's a stereotypical, like, fake facade human being creature, a drone.
It's a profile of a woman. Yeah, you're describing a particular profile. Yeah.
And it's a drone, a bot of a person,
yeah.
an NPC. zero cognitive. They're not even sentient, and they just talk, just like that one did. So when I say baddie, it's not a compliment. Trust me. So when I say that she's with her cohort of other baddies, yeah, they look down at regular women. And when I say regular, that's not an insult.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta explain this to the people listening, because they were like, oh, you call her bad. No, she's not bad. You know what I'm saying? And so I'll let you go in a second, but she got me really fired up. And last thing I'll say is, because she went through this entire process. She went on stage, had Usher, you know what I'm saying, like singing to her and doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, that's weird energy. He ain't got no shirt on. He all greasy and stuff. Like, that's for a particular person. And you only wanted to do that with Chris Brown. You didn't want to do that with Usher. You were uncomfortable as soon as Usher was on stage and they picked you. Don't go through the entire process. I mean, she's allowed to stop, but when you go through that entire process and then stop on stage, be ready for the backlash, because there was some aunties in that audience that would have loved that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And in the VIP pit. So she just carried on. She just carried on with a nasty energy, and that look she gave Usher was nasty. It was nasty. You know what I'm saying? So I could go on, man, because one thing I can't stand is that type of personality set. I mean, that really grinds my gears, man. But what are your thoughts, man, on this whatever Cheyenne creature saying that, hey, my pretty privilege is what got y'all hot? What are your thoughts, man?
You know, I agree with everything that you said, but unfortunately, whatever scolding she may get on the internet is not going to make a dent in her behavior.
Nope.
It's certainly not going to do enough to deter her, or at least have her rethinking certain aspects of her disposition to perhaps move in a different light. Unfortunately, women of her ilk have been trained to be that way. Let me repeat that. Women of her ilk have been trained to be that way. See, you know, this ongoing narrative about the behavior of women and how it's contributed to a lot of the chaos that's going on between men and women and all of this kind of stuff. A lot of that stuff is warranted, you know, but oftentimes, you know, contextually, those conversations are discussed in a fashion which suggests that these women are just kind of like this intrinsically, like they were just inherently like this. No, these women have been trained to behave this way. Throughout that woman's past, she was rewarded for behaving in that manner. At many points throughout her life, there were many men who came along who were more than willing to sign up for her corrosive behavior and essentially reward her for being that way simply because she exists. And now, as a grown woman, it has matured into this monstrosity. It has matured into this monstrosity of a form of behavior that you can't go back from. Her pleasure centers and the reward centers and the various neurons and pathways firing off in her brain have been conditioned to seek reward for behaving this way. And they've been conditioned to seek reward for behaving this way because behaving this way has gotten her rewarded throughout her life. So there's no incentive whatsoever for her to change her behavior. Just like there's no incentive whatsoever for women for women like her to behave that way. And yeah, when you use the word baddie, I knew where you were coming from. You're describing the profile of a woman who looks at the world through the lens of my contribution to this world is my mere existence and my physical attractiveness. And therefore, any form of corrosive or toxic behavior is excused because of the fact that my presence is literally a present.
Yes.
So, but how can you blame her really? She's probably been invited to many VIP sections.
Oh,
She's probably been invited to skip many lines at the club. She has been there have been many free drinks purchased for her. There have been many liberties that she has been able to enjoy just off of the sake of her existence. And the manner in which she behaves has never been called into question so as to put her in position to moderate that behavior so that she may perhaps have to act differently in order to continue to reap those benefits. No, what's happened throughout her life is, despite the fact that she behaves that way, I'm going to continue to reward her because, oh my gosh, she exists. So yeah, she's the woman who maybe she has other groups of friends who are like her, and they're making fun of all the peasants who are in the general. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they're the people who make fun of the peasants who are in the general admission line. You know, they are going to brunch and they're in the VIP section getting the free money, and they're making fun of all the peasants, the commoners, the breadcrumb eaters who have to actually pay for their drinks. Yeah. That's the spirit that she operates in. But unfortunately, she's been rewarded for that throughout her life.
And honestly, will continue to be.
Yeah, no, she will continue to be. There's no amount of self-destructive, corrosive behavior that she can engage in that's going to stop the next doofus from saying, well, you want me to pay for this? You want me to pay for that? You want to be let in here? You want to be let in there? What does it take? So she's been trained like this, no different than an actual adult. Like, she's acting like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, one might use the word bitch to describe her behavior, but she's been trained like a dog.
Seriously.
You know, like if every time a dog pees on the rug and you give it steak, the dog's going to keep peeing on the rug thinking it's going to get steak every time.
Agreed. Correct.
And that's what she is perpetuating through this, and many others like her. So again, you know, I would love to sit up here and cast all kinds of aspersions on her character, and I do think she needs to engage in accountability. But see, the topic that we did discussing Cardi B earlier, these women are absent the ability to do this. They are atrophied of the skill of engaging in accountability. And how can you blame them? They've never had to develop the skill because they've been rewarded for that behavior their entire life.
Wait,
so, and listen, man, look, I feel bad for Usher because he he wasn't asking for this. 9 times out of 10, when he's engaging in his shenanigans and he's bringing people on stage, those women are willing participants. And he just so happened to get the one woman who got put in VIP who feels as though her existence is above even being a part of Usher's performance. Go figure that.
Right.
It's unbelievable. But hey, man, when you have a society full of humans who have not been trained to understand the importance of accountability, they'll continue to behave this way.
Hey, man, well said, bro. And everything that you explained there also explains why she talks like that, while she, carries herself the way that she does. I mean, I don't need to see much from this person to understand that she doesn't think her bowels stink. You know what I'm saying? And she doesn't, like, at all. Because honestly, like you said, bro, some doofus, you know what I'm saying, would prefer to be around while she's, you know what I'm saying, releasing her bowels. Because that's how some of these guys are, man. That's how some of these, I mean, there's really dudes out there that would drink a bath water for you know what I'm saying, for the cap, and because they that sick. And they allow this and they fund these operations.
Yes. Yeah.
And now we have a whole bunch of free radical agents just tearing up the society. We have really gotten to a point, because I wish she was an anomaly. She's not.
No, she's not.
And this is becoming the growing norm. If it's not this, because she's definitely an extreme case. If it's not this, is derivatives of this. and they're not too far off. That I mean, this thing used to be a complete, standard deviation. It's off the scale. Not anymore. This is part of the bell curve. This is a part of the bell curve, man.
If you draw a Venn diagram, the biggest area of the Venn diagram is supposed to be where the two circles overlap, and then you get that section in the middle, and that's where the majority of the population is supposed to reside. That's her. Like her particular profile is now the middle of the Venn diagram, when it used to be far to the left or far to the right. Now it's just in the middle.
And that's the part about this that is sickening. That's the part about me that grinds my gears. Because first of all, I will never associate with anybody like that. All right, let's just make that clear. Just would not. All right, but at the same time, and trust me, there's a lot of good women out here. All right, but at the same time, this is a growing population of women who naturally looked good or got enhancements or did whatever. This is just become, or not even nowhere near it. And they still on that. Because again, like you said, these doofuses, these doofusai out here just funding this operation. So she felt every right to be completely wrong in this situation and not give a damn. So, and of course she's like, oh, so y'all mad at me because I was uncomfortable in that position? You know what I'm saying? So now you're the victim?
It's even worse than that. She's saying y'all mad at me because I look good.
Come on.
And that's the psychosis of a lot of chicks like this.
Oh,
they believe that their mere existence is some sort of inherent gift to the world. I mean, she literally vocalized that sentiment. Why wouldn't I go on stage? I was looking good as hell.
Why wouldn't I let thousands of people see me? What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh my God, bro. So wow, man. So yeah, man, this stuff should be in the DSM, along with a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on nowadays. But this type of mindset, all of this stuff should be in the DSM. It won't. But just know that, these people are out of their damn mind. So unfortunately for us, I mean, who gives a damn? I don't have to be on social media and I don't have to see any of her videos. Trust and believe. This isn't the last we've seen of her. Because guess what? There's people out there that's going to hold her up. You know what I'm saying? There's women out and dudes.
Yeah, she's going to be given a platform.
She's going to be given a platform. She's going to be on some type of reality show. She's going to be on something. And that's why she went on stage. So, hey, man, it is what it is, bro. Y'all can have this internet at this point, man. I'm about to start setting fire to this stuff, man. I can't stand this garbage no more, man. And y'all actually got me feeling bad for Usher. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Give me a break, man. But hey, life goes on, man. And hey, best of luck to her. But I'm staying away from that.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. It sucks, bro. And this, whatever. Yeah, we'll move on, man. But it's a crazy state of affairs. It really is, man. That is dangerous rhetoric once again, but dangerous rhetoric these days is in ample supply. Yeah. Just like I've always said, like, narcissism has become like an acceptable form of behavior. Like, it's no longer something that's looked at that's looked upon as a fringe behavior. It just simply is. Yep. There you go, man. And we move to round things out. Speaking of, man, there must be something in the water with people named Cheyenne.
Because stay away, y'all.
Yeah,
stay away, y'all.
That's exactly right, man. Stay far away. But Dr. Cheyenne Braynt is trending once again because, of course, her educational credentials are being called into question. Now, this has been an ongoing conversation for some time now, where people are trying to, they're trying to find the paper trail for her doctorate status. Like, you're a doctor of what exactly? Where is the degree? Where is the paperwork? Like, can we please see your credentials? Now, she's always, of course, defended herself, saying that she is indeed legitimate as a doctoral recipient, and any suggestion to the contrary is, of course, people just being a hater, right? Like, these are the people hating on me. Now, an individual who claims to have been part of said legitimacy of Dr. Cheyenne Braynt recently was on Mark Lamont Hill's podcast, explaining how Dr. Cheyenne Braynt came into receiving a doctoral degree, in this case, one of psychology. I wasn't aware that she's going to be the subject of a Netflix documentary.
No. This is a Netflix trend where they play the music.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, they play the music, and whenever in a Netflix documentary, they'll be like, they'll play the music, and people act like they lost, like, oh, which camera am I? So it's like a trend on TikTok where they play that. So she would. If it's a Netflix documentary, it's true crime of Cheyenne Braynt.
Yeah, America's Most Wanted or something.
Yeah, man. Get out of here.
Oh, okay. Well, thank God. Yeah, you just gave me some relief.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So here is this gentleman here who is some sort of faculty member or something, and that was involved with bestowing a doctoral degree for Cheyenne Braynt.
Is this my camera? Oh, this is my camera? Oh, this is my camera?
The institution that you are president of?
Indiana Southwest Christian University is an institution that I am the president of. It's a private Christian university. It's not like secular universities that offer a vast array of subjects like business and biology. It only offers subject matters that pertains to fields in ministry, spiritual counseling, theology, Christian education, church administration, sacred music, Christian art, canon law, church communications, spirituality, and social work. So it's Christ-based. It's not a secular-based institution. It's a very profound case. Just to give some background on why I even made this decision, it's because this has been talked about matter for for a consecutive amount of years. And I took the initiative upon myself because she has 2 honorary doctorate degrees. I took the initiative upon myself to give her a earned doctorate degree. In her interviews that she possesses online, she says, I'm a doctor of psychology. If you go back to her previous video, she says, I'm a doctor of psychology. I'm a doctor of psychology. So that was the primary reason why the degree is classified as a doctor of psychology, because I wanted to validate her self-fulfilled prophecy. And also is there are individuals who doubted the validity of her degree. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to step up and I'll grant her a degree. And now there's proof that she actually has a degree.
So your university doesn't give doctors of psychology, but you've given one, and that one is to Cheyenne Braynt because of her self-fulfilled prophecy.
No, we provide doctor of psychology degrees, but it's rare that students elect to pursue that degree.
How many doctors of psychology have you given ever?
Only one. So literally the university was created.
And who's that one? Is it Cheyenne Braynt?
Cheyenne Braynt. The university was just established in May of 2026. So in regard to Dr. Bryant's narrative about the school not being registered, it was just started in May of 2026. So it's not going to have any type of standing online. It was just established in May of 2026.
Well, that's a mouthful. I wanted to validate her self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know that I've ever heard that one before.
That was the first, bro. That's the first, bro.
Validate her self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay. Go ahead.
Hey, man. One thing about Cheyenne Braynt, man, because we've definitely covered her here on the show before. We did the Cam Newton, we did the Nick Cannons, and I think we did another one-off one as well. So she's definitely friend of the channel status.
Yeah.
So guys, go ahead and do some homework because we've been nailing this down as it's been developing. Now, as we stand right now, guys, all right, apparently she felt emboldened to do this skit where she's like, oh, y'all was talking? Look at all my credentials, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I actually got a degree. So this guy who just created this school 2-3 months ago, okay, and it seems like he only created it for Cheyenne Braynt. All right. Then he gives her what he calls an earned degree, okay, to validate a self-fulfilled prophecy of hers. What the hell is going on? So, hey man, you couldn't write this in a script, bro. If somebody came to you and this was part of a script, they were like, nobody's gonna believe this. This crap out of my face. And this guy sat here and did a whole little interview explaining himself to why he did that. And so you guys heard it. He was like, hey, look, she was getting all this criticism and all this scrutiny and all this other stuff. So somebody had to step up. So I decided to do it. So there's other parts of that interview where Mark Lamont Hill, and there's another situation. Y'all making me defend Mark Lamont Hill. You know what I'm saying? But this part's out here where he's sitting out here saying, where he's explaining, like, what did he say? He said that damn, I forgot what I was about to say. But there's other portions of this interview where the guy was basically saying that that Cheyenne Braynt has displayed by her testimonies online and other things that she has done enough to be a doctor. So that's why he wanted to do it. No transcripts, no nothing, no prior history, nothing. He basically created a school. It's only been hot for a month, and then gave Cheyenne Braynt her doctorate, what she's claims is earned. Last thing I'll say before I let you go. And he says that the only reason why he's able to do this because it's a Christian school, and he gets a religious exemption. Yeah. So they don't have to do stuff by the status quo and all this other stuff. So he can pretty much do whatever the hell he wants because he's a Christian-based institution. So he gave Cheyenne Braynt a fake degree. Well, I guess it's a real, y'all can call it whatever the hell you want, but it's not accredited through anything major. But he gave her a degree on his own rules because he can make them up because he created an institution with a religious exemption. So she had to come to the internet after she did this fake little situation, this whole little fake situation, to do this and pose like this to tell us that we're the crazy delusional people. This is unbelievable. That last video with that crazy airheaded girl, and now Cheyenne Braynt, the levels of delusion that is going on right now. I mean, these people are completely detached from reality. This is mind-boggling stuff. Like, this would be stuff that we would only see in Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Oh, that's a crazy person. We're seeing this in real time. Man, what are your thoughts, bro, on Cheyenne Braynt? All right, I guess finally being validated by some guy, all right, who created a school and gave her a degree and say she earned it. What are your thoughts, man?
The guy probably wants to smash. The guy who gave her the degree to validate her self-fulfilled prophecy. How pretentious. Like how how pretentious can you be to actually say that with a straight face? You want to validate someone else's self-fulfilled prophecy.
What?
Like the nature of a self-fulfilled prophecy is that it's self-fulfilling, so it doesn't
Correct.
need secondary validation from
Bro, I'm not one of those we living in a simulation people, but that like you, this is like a TV show. What's going on?
Hey man,
The president making twerk jokes. Like Usher getting denied by a mean girl. Now this is a weird episode, man.
We are doomed, bro. We're doomed. Like we are living in Sodom and Gomorrah as we speak. We just don't recognize it because we aren't living in biblical times. So you have to kind of transfix the concept of Sodom and Gomorrah to like modern, advanced, civilized society. But I think that's where we are. We are living in end times, man. And look, unfortunately, this doesn't surprise me because, and this is something that we've talked about on other videos on the channel before, standards across the board in every respect are completely down the drain, entirely diluted. I don't care whether you're going to the grocery store. I don't care whether you're trying to go to the gas station. I don't care whether you're trying to purchase dental insurance. I don't care whether you're trying to seek financial advice. I don't care what it is you're trying to do. You're going to school, you're trying to apply for a university, you want to get some sort of credential, you're trying to get some kind of a certification, you're trying to get a license to do something. I don't care what it is we're talking about. The standard to bear for everything is in the pits. They're letting anybody do anything.
It's anarchy, bro.
You don't need to really maintain any high standard of it. It doesn't matter. You pick up you pick up the phone and call because you need service or you need to handle some business to get something done. The people on the phone you're talking to, if you can get a human, they don't even know what they're doing. They don't know.
And they don't care.
They don't know. They don't bother trying to help. They don't bother trying to reach a conclusion. They don't even know their own companies or products. People don't know. People are literally just sitting, filling voids, and passing the time.
Yes, bro.
That is what humans are doing today. A very small percentage of humans today are actually helping to push humanity forward. Everybody else is just sitting around waiting until the clock strikes midnight so that they can go to sleep and wake up and do it again the next day. Schools, education, none of this stuff is meeting a standard. Everything sucks. Movies suck. Music sucks. TV shows suck. Everything sucks. I can't think of one thing throughout my life to which the quality of it over time has at least stayed the same, if not increased. Everything has gone down. I can't think of anything. I can't. Food suck. Oh, everything sucks. You used to go to a grocery store and get a bag of Doritos, and the whole bag is full. Huh. You go to the grocery store now to get a bag of Doritos, half the bag is full.
Not
and half of that are crumbs at the bottom.
Yeah, thank you.
Bro, this whole thing is done. We're cooked. So yeah, give her an honorary degree so that you, an outside party, can fulfill her self-fulfilled prophecy, which is oxymoronic. That doesn't even make sense.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
What is that?
I think that's the first time I've heard that.
I've never heard that before in my life. And he felt righteous in saying that in an interview that people are going to see. and sadly, I don't know how many people are going to call out how oxymoronic that is, how much that doesn't make sense. That is so counterintuitive that someone else is going to fulfill another person's self-fulfilled prophecy. What the hell are we doing here, bro? We are in a simulation. But look, man, this is just a microcosm of the degradation of quality across the board. Everything sucks.
Yes.
And look, I try to be an optimistic person. I try to not be cynical. I really do. I really sit down and I engage in self-reflective talks with myself. I try to see the bright side of things. I try to do things glass half full. I don't want to walk around being gloom and doom, pessimistic. The sky is falling. But everywhere I look, all I see is degradation in quality.
Yeah.
Everywhere I look, that's all I see. Everywhere. So, you know, even though this is, of course, disappointing, it at the end of the day doesn't shock me to see that, you know. And again, man, I have such low expectations for men these days. I don't give a damn that this is a Christian university. I feel like this guy probably just wanted to hit. He probably wanted to smash, and that was a big part of his motivation for wanting to do this. Talking about what she's been doing online. She ain't been doing nothing online but shaming men for being men.
Exactly.
Like, what are you contributing in that way? What's doctoral about that? I'm out of here, man. I'm done. This is ridiculous, bro. It really is. I don't know what we're doing anymore. I really don't. I don't know what we're doing anymore.
I mean, but and that's the thing, bro. And I personally got to go back and look at the Cam Newton thing, because I remember when I'm seeing this, you know what I'm saying, for the first time, I go, who the hell does she think she is? With all of this, what is baby bop, bimbo, lame, reverse psychology ass, elementary stuff? Like, who's going for this? And people were going for it. The comment sections were going insane, man. There was women out there calling them out. Yeah, yeah. I forgot the buzzword that she used to describe Cam Newton. I don't know if it was low quality or low.
It was
low vibrational.
No, it was womanizer. You're a womanizer.
Yeah, but it was also like she was like low, like it was like something about like low vibrational women or something like that, and it was something in that context. But then that became like a little buzz thing that people on the internet was using because they biting off Cheyenne Braynt, and that's the power of social media.
Yeah,
these clowns gave this buffoon a platform and legitimized her. Then Cam Newton started running around parroting her talking points later on. I was like, you're really an idiot. Cam Newton did this, not Cam Newton, Nick Cannon did the same thing. Later on after his thing, later on just going around parroting her talking points as if she's a real therapist. Are you insane? Are you crazy? Nobody was, I mean, people at first, people were like, confused. They were on the fence. They didn't even know what to think about her. But me, amongst a whole bunch of other people, were like, there's something ain't right about this person. Is she even a real doctor? Then the more that she would do stuff, the more she would appear on things, be on TV shows and all this other stuff, it became painfully obvious that this woman here isn't a real doctor. And I think in the last thing that we covered where I was like, she's kind of like, she's the same type of doctor as Dr. Dre. So she's not, it's just there. It's not as a profession. It's not PhD behind it. But this clip floating around the internet where she was on Club Shay Shay talking about she got 6 degrees, 3 doctorals, and just running her damn mouth. I've owned businesses on Melrose. When I was 19 years old, I had a house. I had this. She's just crazy, bro. She's completely delusional. And then there's a population of people that feed into that. But there's paranoid schizophrenics out there that say the same damn things. She just got a bust down lace front or whatever she'll be having. You know what I'm saying? And the other person's digging through a dumpster, but they're saying the same damn thing. So the only thing I got to say here is I'm glad that the internet done had enough. I done seen, after this little fiasco, I done seen enough actual professionals come out and say that, hey, man, I worked hard for my stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is what my thing actually looks like. They'll hold up either their degree, the gown that they wore on their graduation. They'll speak about their dissertation. She never even mentioned what her dissertation is. Nobody even knows what her thing is. Is it peer reviewed? Is it online? Can we look it up? None of this.
Is it a journal? Yeah. Is what book is it in? What journal is it in?
And conveniently enough, the school that she claimed that she got her PhD from before is shut down. So you can't go to their website. You can't look at any of that stuff. Yeah, this is University of Phoenix ass female. So she need to get on out of here. She need to get on out of here. I'm glad that the internet is putting boots to her right now because she deserves it. All right, because what she has done, you know what I'm saying, was spew dangerous rhetoric under the guise of a professional. And then there was women out here that was actually eating that up, and apparently men. So I'm glad that the internet is stripping this down to its bare bones. And Mark Lamont Hill, of all people, doing the hardcore journalism to pull this out. I mean, you could not put this in a Tubi movie. Nobody would believe it. But hey, here we are, man. So I'm glad that she's getting exposed, and I'm getting a good laugh out of it as well.
Is it the creating broken families? Is that what you were trying to think of? That she said to Cam Newton?
She was saying that, yeah, it was that too.
She
that he
said,
created
she
broken
did
families.
say that. Yeah.
And I think she also was saying that Cam Newton was dealing with low vibrational women.
Uh-huh.
And that he's a low vibrational man.
Yeah. We did cover that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man, it's crazy, bro.
I don't know, man. I just
low functioning functioning man.
Yeah,
that's what you were saying.
Wow. Yeah. If there is some retribution coming her way for things being regressed back to the mean, then she will have deserved it. And I'm glad to see that there is some hope for us out there with people catching on to this and getting hip to the game. Mm-hmm. But man, these grifters got to go. These grifters got to go. You brought up the power of the internet, man. Too many people are being afforded platforms who don't deserve it, and they're dangerous. And they're dangerous people to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's a lot of hurt people, there's a lot of hurt people in society. There are a lot of confused people in society. And hurt, confused people gravitate towards ideologies that make them feel better about their plights, rather. And so, even the finance grifters, the fitness grifters, there's grifters all over the place.
Yep.
Because there's people who are just abjectly miserable about something. And so, whatever it is that you're not happy about, there's some grifter who can fill that void for you and make you feel better about things.
Mm-hmm.
And people really do need to seek out the counsel of individuals who have the requisite credentials to actually steer you down the right path, instead of constantly putting your faith and trust in these internet gas bags, because they're going to lead you astray. And these individuals are just, again, they are a part of a larger problem with our acceptance of a lowering of standards across the board in all aspects, whether it's education, whether it's commerce, whether it's service. It can be anything. It can be anything that we can think of. The quality of it was better 10 years ago. And at that point, the quality of it was better than then 10 years ago.
I
know
agree.
What I'm saying? Like, it's horrible, bro. But this person is another individual to whom no one should listen to. And hopefully people wise up and figure that out, because like I have one of those rules, like, one of the things that I've always, and I do generally believe in this, you don't take marriage advice from a person who's not married.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a person is a single baby mama or a baby daddy, why are you listening to their relationship advice? Their life is in shambles.
Yeah, she the one talking about she's spinning the block.
Yeah, like why are you listening to the whims of Brittany Renner, who is a baby mama to an NBA rapper? She looks like she's hit the wall, but she still has all these grandstanding opinions.
Mm-hmm.
People are still listening to her, though.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you listening to her advice about ways to secure something she doesn't even have? That doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stop listening to these grifters grift on about all of these ways obtain this and secure that when they don't even represent the stuff that they're telling you about. They don't embody it at all. Non-married people giving marriage advice, that's dumb.
Mhm.
People who aren't in relationships giving relationship advice, that's dumb.
Mhm.
People who are broke giving finance advice, that's dumb.
Mhm.
People who shoot up and use performance enhancers and aren't actually in the gym putting in the work like that, but are going to give you fitness advice, that's dumb.
Mhm.
But these people get platforms. It's crazy, bro. The internet really is a monstrosity of a human creation. And you know, if we were more responsible collectively as people, we could utilize that power in more constructive ways. But history has clearly shown us that humans cannot be held responsible for doing things in a responsible fashion, at least for not long enough. Eventually, it's going to corrupt. So, you know, stop listening to this woman and stop listening to other grifters like her. There's a little thing that goes off in your brain that says there's something not all the way right about this. Listen to it and swipe right or left or whatever the hell you're doing. Whatever platform you're on, watching this person's content, go the other way.
Well said, bro. And that was the other one-off one that we covered. That was when Paul Pierce was talking to her, and he was pressing her about, you know what I'm saying, like, what you got going on? And then that's when she was talking about that she ain't married, and there's a guy that she was dealing with, and she spun the block. And I'm like, excuse me? I don't want my doctor spinning the block on some guy that she's been having as a situationship for 7-8 years. What kind of crap is that? And then you're going to say that I'm low functioning?
And you're going to give me relationship advice, right?
And you're going to give me relationship advice? Give me a flipping break. Are you kidding me? And Paul Pierce called her out, man, because he was like, man, I know your type. You know what I'm saying? I know you. All right. And it ain't none of this stuff you talking about. And so, yeah, man. And amongst other things that this woman has done. So she loves the limelight. She loves the attention. Okay. That's true narcissistic behavior. Look at me diagnosing her. True narcissistic behavior. All right. Any attention is good attention for her. So the internet having fun with her name back in circulation for whatever reason, it tickles her fancy. So she'll be right back next month or a few more months from now with another viral piece of crap. So we will be here to cover it. All right. Because unfortunately, we do have to spread the gospel, man. All right. Because there's some people out there that still may not have caught on. All right. So, but yeah, man, this is absolutely hilarious and devastating and scary. All wrapped in one, man. So in the last topic, we talked about the bozos out here that's funding the operation. That guy is bozo, all right, for sure.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And honestly, I have every reason to believe that he created this institution just to do that. May of 2026, bro, that was just yesterday.
Yeah.
And the first degree you give is Cheyenne Braynt. So they either know each other. There's some weird collusion stuff going on, or this guy is just volunteering bozo. In either case, him putting himself on the line like that he's a complete idiot. So hey man, y'all can have each other, y'all can have this whole thing, man. But shout out to everybody out there that went to school for real, took them classes for real. You actually did your dissertation. You know what I'm saying? You was actually sweating up there while you was up there defending your stuff. You know what I'm saying? You went, because man, that PhD ain't no joke, bro. Master's is not a joke. And so for this woman out here to be out here just online schools and all this other BS that she was doing, and then completely lying about a PhD, bro, get the hell out of here. It's extremely disrespectful, man. So any lashes that she's getting from the public, I'm adding on another 2,000. And for that bozo dude, all right, you're getting 10x that. All right. You're the president of our university, so you know what 10x of 2,000 is, bro. Do the math. But yeah, man, you guys are done to me. Unbelievable.
Him giving her that honorary, him giving her that doctoral degree is his version of flying her out. That's how I see it.
And dropping a bag on her and buying her a Birkin.
That's how I see
lame, it. Dog.
Yeah. Talk about low vibration. Oh man, stay away from those grifters, y'all. Stay away from those grifters, man. They will bamboozle you and lead you astray. Trust me. But on that note, we are going to go ahead and sign off, man. Another fantastic stream in the books. Check me out on IG at JBWins, JBWINS, and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify. Hey, listen, guys, don't be a group thinker. Think for yourself. Have a mind of your own. Shouts out to the Philadelphia 76ers for stepping in front of that speeding bullet and signing that boy. And until next time, everybody, please have a great rest of your day and week. Stay safe out there and keep your eyes open, man, because those grifters are out there.
Hey, man, and the name is Dogon SS. Skr. And you can find me on Instagram at Dogon_SS, on YouTube, MySpace, DraftKings, all right, Meta, X, Twitter. Hey, man, if there's a social media platform, Dogon_SS is also out there. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow, and all that good jazz. All right. And we greatly appreciate you guys for sharing these videos, man, because we be dropping jewels and you can't just keep it all to yourself, man. So thank you for hitting that subscribe button and consciously leaving comments on top of that. All right. We couldn't do this without y'all. All right. And as I say every week, ladies and gentlemen, don't be too high. Don't be too low. Keep it calm. Keep it chill. Keep it player. And don't let anybody get you off your pivot. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next episode, I still got more rings than LeBron James and Kevin Durant. And we'll see y'all next week, y'all.
Yeah. Damn, Cheyenne Braynt, man. Unbelievable.
Hey, man. You gotta love it, dog. I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. Peace.